Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Crazy Tuesday Madness Chess Malarkey. And we're going to start my favourite little move, pawn to queen 4. So, if you haven't seen this before, where have you been? It is Title Tuesday. I am Grandmaster. And you won't believe that when you watch me play chess. You'll be amazed that I'm a Grandmaster. I am sometimes. I wake up and I look in the mirror and I think, really? That can't be true. And I'm playing in Title Tuesday, which is a tournament on chess.com, where you get... It's probably the strongest sort of tournament that any title player can play. When I mean titled, IM, GM, blah, 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 CM, FM... There's a lot of titles, and it's 11 rounds. The time control is 3 minutes plus. No, it's 5 minutes. What am I talking about? It used to be 3 minutes. It's now just 5 minutes, so you can get flagged, and it's hard, man. It's really hard. Now, can we rock and roll with some funky stuff? I mean, H4. And then if he goes F6, queen over here, let's do it. H4, the Harry attack. And the thing about this kind of position is that this bishop is a very strong piece. And my opponent maybe do something clever like bishop A6. This is why it's Title Tuesday. You get to play good players and they play good moves. And the reason that's a good move is because that's a bad bishop. It's trapped behind these pawns. So it's locked in a cage like a poor orca whale. It needs to kill its surroundings and get out of that cage. And that's what it's done by coming here. It's swapped itself off for its more active counterpart. Because that bishop was beautiful looking over there. But I'm still hacking away, and we're still attacking. Now, this move looks kind of strong, right? I mean, this was something I was trying to set up because we threatened checkmate, and after G6, we're going to win the exchange. I suppose my opponent can take here, Queen G6, take here, then King here, and I probably win that one. So I think it's safe for me to take this. So takes, I will just go Queen G3 and I win more material. And if my opponent takes their check, King E2 attacks the knight. So this looks pretty forced. And now we can defend this pawn and also restrict that knight. If my opponent plays C5, this is kind of something which should help me. Because when you've got the extra rook, hello, that is my extra rook, we want open files. So in the long run, by playing C5 and taking here, we're going to have an open line. So I could try to checkmate, of course, and go for it with this. Yeah, let's just do that. I mean, it'd be rude not to use Harry, right? I was thinking castling is a good option, but this is... I could have maybe played that last move, but this is a little bit dangerous because also E6 is on pre. So let's take that now because my opponent has to take with the H-pawn. And now, do we play for mate? Or do we do a safe move such as castling? Well, castling is probably quite easily winning. But let's play for mate. Now, the thing with this check means my opponent can't defend. My opponent will probably have to put the bishop here to defend. In my last move, I'm just trying to bring more pieces around. I can still castle, so I haven't given up on that idea. But castling means I take this rook away from the open file. So it'd be a little bit sad to do that. The reason I'm thinking about castling, though, is I'm probably winning because of the extra material. And if my opponent gets the queen in, some stuff like this, then my king's a little bit exposed in the centre. What other moves could I try? Well, if I go queen here, threatening checkmate, my opponent will go bishop G7. And if I check, king H8. And it's very hard to break that down. So my opponent has gone check. So I'm now thinking G1. Is quite safe, and that is and now my opponent comes back, so losing time, very risky, and I'm just going to keep coming forwards. Now I think rook h8, boom, is a biggie, and Hello to Blair's dog called Biggles. Nickname Biggie. Not Biggie Smalls. Not really into my rap. I do like a bit of it. Which rap? Well, I mean, everyone loves Eminem, don't they? Nas, classic album. You ready? You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And Cypress Hill. Do like Cypress Hill. Massive Cypress Hill fan. Okay, look at this. This is what we call a boom chiggy boom boom boom. Get the pipe out. Chill out. We're going to do a Gandalf for him. Put this in your pipe and smoke it. Boom. Hello. These first games are vicious. And the combination of 3 attacking pieces is often lethal. And the idea is if king takes, my queen will come in with check. And then it will come in even more. Now, my opponent doesn't even have check here. So this position, I think, is just completely winning. Is my opponent going to resign? or does he want the punishment? I think he wants the punishment. So we're going to go here. There is one check. And look at this. A desperate move. Now, I can't offer a draw. That's my little cheeky trick. When I have checkmate in one move, I don't know why, but I love the stupid idea. I don't know why I do it. You can probably see. Let's see if I can get the full screen up. I might need to. Oh, hello. We'll bring it up in a minute. And my opponent has resigned because I was about to go there. Checkmate. So quite a juicy first game, I think you'll find. And all my plans seem to work pretty well there. That opening, very nice opening, the Torre. And it's very nice, I think, for white. As soon as black starts playing, in actual fact, move 3, d5. This is one of the main lines, but I think it's just good for white. Because when I play e3, I've got this extra piece outside of my pawns. But my opponent's got this bishop behind the pawn. So it's like this bishop. If this bishop said, no, I'm scared. I don't want to attack. I want to go back home. Bring me back home again. And if you put that bishop back there, then it would be equal. But no, this bishop is a great piece. And it can easily swap itself off. It can easily attack. It can easily do lots of things it did in the game. It won the exchange. And my other bishop is beautiful at attacking that one. So, a smooth game. Now, let me just adjust this one. Okay, I know it's the black screen. Black hole down. What's that? Black. And you can see my office stroke room. Black hole. No, what's that song? I was listening to it earlier. Black hole sun. That's the one. And we're just going to get the whole screen up so you can see basically the analysis and what the computer says, which is kind of useful after the game. Better not bring the computer up during the game. That would be rather naughty, and I don't know if it's even possible. And let's move me. Yes, you can move out the way. Let's put me over there. So yeah, this is a good little opening, the Torre, and it's something me and Richard Palace have done a course on, which you can look at. I play it quite a lot because a lot of players on the black side, they don't really know how to handle it. And there's not much theory. You can just play some chilled out moves and stuff. Right, now what's been going on in my life? I will tell you while we wait for the next game. I'm still punting away with chess publishing, as you can see at the top. I'm making so many videos for that website. I'm doing over 100 videos a month now, and it's growing, and we're coming up with more and more, I think, really good ideas to help the user experience. So go and check out chesspublishing.com. There's still an offer where you can get it cheaper, and that'll be gone by next Tuesday, I think. And yeah, I mean, if you want to get better at your openings, it's well worth checking out. Even you don't have to pay if you want to just go and check out. Go and check out the database page. I think it's one of the... I would think it, but we've been creating it for a year. And I honestly think it's one of the best chess database pages in the world. I think it's better than ChessBase, better than anything, because it has all these annotated games by Grandmasters, which you can learn from. Not AI slop, even though we might bring some of that along. Not slop, but AI at some point. But it's got some great... It's basically got books and books and books accessible for humans. And every month we get more. We get another 100 annotated games on the latest theory and 100 videos by me. 100 videos by me. Isn't that worth paying the price that you would on a coffee? Pretty much. Or maybe 2 coffees, depending where you live. You live in, like, I don't know, like London, probably 1 coffee. If you live in Vienna, it's 1/4 of a coffee. Depends where you go. Depends what kind of coffee you like. I like mine with a bottle of whiskey in. So it's probably... Yeah, you get it. So it's only it's like $10. It's not much, and you can keep up to date with the latest theory. So it's really worth doing, and you support what we do. But last time I saw you, it's been quite funny. So I was going to Glastonbury the next day, which I love. Okay, I'll tell you all about that when we get a chance. Let's deal with Samuel Ter-Sahakyan. Sam. I'll call you Sam, mate. And we're going to wheel out the Sicilian because it's funky, it's aggressive, and my opponent doesn't want to dabble with the dangers of the Sicilian. Now, c3 is quite a tricky little move because you have to watch out for this. Now, this line, I think I now get a chance to get my bishop. Remember we talked about getting the bishop outside the pawn structure? Well, I could take that one, but I'm going to keep it. I get my bishop outside the pawn structure because I think I'm going to go e6 here. Well, he's going here now. So actually I'm going to go e5. Now, I don't normally play this move because I want to block that bishop in, but I'm a little bit concerned about f4, and now I can take it. Now, before I castle, guess what I'm going to play? How well do you know me? Well, I need to take this pawn, I feel now. And I'm playing this move, h5, because I love it. Because I want to get this in the game. I don't necessarily want to castle. My opponent has opened up his king. So I want to try and take advantage of that. One idea now is to possibly take this. So my opponent is stopping that. And now this is one idea my opponent has. So I'm actually going to put my bishop... That's not a bishop, that's called a knight, over here. Just because I feel like, okay, I could have put it in the center, but I feel like I want to swap that knight off when it comes in. And now I can castle, I think. My king seems very secure over there, but in the long run, my opponent's king feels a little bit exposed, no? I would say. So I haven't committed. Do I bring the queen in? Do I bring the knight in there? Do I bring the knight in there? Do I play for d5? I don't know correct way to continue at the moment. Maybe knight d4 makes sense, you know, just try to fight for the light squares. It's a nice square. So my opponent's now... Okay, so I'm going to go here. So maybe... I don't know if I should have done something else. So now we're just going to go here because, well, I'm now covering f3. So I want to bring my queen all the way in and start attacking my opponent's exposed king. I'd love to go d5 and bishop d6 and play moves like this, but that's not happening. But my opponent has to deal with this move now because that queen is a pesky queen. So now maybe coming to this square, but I think we should fly in anyway, right? Because we're threatening to grab a pawn. And after queen here, which is my opponent's idea, how do we improve our position? Do I play for f6 because my opponent is... This one might be coming, right? But then I got this pawn here. So I'm going to just go here because it might give me the option of opening the f file. I couldn't see what else to do. And my opponent, if it tries to swap queens, I'm going to grab that one. So I'm playing for f6, and I'm playing because my opponent's queen is on the f file. I've got 2 great pieces, but I want to coordinate, bring in more pieces to this position. And I think this knight b6 was practically a very good move because it just controls that. So f6 or f5 is the idea. I had to move my king because that pawn is pinned. Now my opponent plays knight there. Minimum I take it, take the pawn. So my opponent decides to give me this pawn. Now it would be rude not to take that as a gift. So let's take it. Now this is a great square. So my opponent has sacrificed the pawn to ease the problem on his position, and I think that was a very clever idea that my opponent did there, because okay, I don't know about this f6 now, but I'm going to play it because otherwise my opponent's position was really starting to get quite dangerous. Now I am giving this pawn. If I take here, do I take with a rook? Let's take with a rook. Here. Okay, let's take with a rook. And if takes here, well, I get this pawn and my opponent gets that pawn. It's a very wild position. But I can also, if takes here, maybe play this rook to this square first, because activity is probably more important. And still should be better here. I mean, if I get bishop e5 in, then I get rid of the threat. So I would have thought my opponent should grab this one anyway. And then if I take here, okay, so I think I should get the rook in. If pawn goes here, well, okay, this is a very dangerous pawn, isn't it? But hopefully I can deal with that pawn. My opponent now trying to get the guys rolling. And it's starting to not look as great as one had wished. Okay, I don't think we need this bishop. I think we should swap, but it could be a mistake. And now I'm going to try and play for bishop e3. This is a very dangerous pawn. So I'm not actually so happy with my position, I must admit. Allowing this pawn to come here was something I regret now. Now, do I block my opponent's bishop, or do I... Okay, let's do this. Can't move this pawn at the moment. I don't want that bishop coming in. My extra pawns are pretty irrelevant. Okay, so the rook naturally comes down. And now if I go here, then this one's going to drop at the end. And this is dropping here. This is getting quite dangerous. And also even ideas like this, right? Such an annoying bishop. Can we play this? I don't like the look of this because it's very negative. And now bishop h6 I was hoping. But this pawn is so strong. Okay, we're going to check, see if my opponent moves the king. If he wants to play for a win, he's got to come here. I think a draw will not be horrendous now. But this pawn is so strong. If I go here now. Yeah, blugger, this pawn. What have I done? What have I done to allow this pawn? Well, okay. Annoying the way I seem to have let this slip. And now, what am I going to do about this guy? Can't move it at the moment. I have to try and create some of my own threats. My opponent deals with that one nicely. And there's a threat here as well of checkmate. God, where did that come from? This one is still coming. And nice play from... Oh, well, we had some chances here, didn't we? I thought we were outplaying again, as we often do. And now, well, I think it's clear to see I'm really struggling. And... trying to get some practical chances. Bishop here is annoying. improving my opponent's position. Fuck. And that is the end. Ah, okay. So, I allowed my opponent right back in it, didn't I? And it's that e-pawn. Bad decision there. So, it seemed to start to drift around here. Let's whack it on the engine, because obviously I am doing quite well around here. And was there even something better I could have done? Because it felt like I had a great position, but maybe not as good as I thought. It's only half a pawn up. So this takes f6 looks fine. Takes rook takes is fine. And now I don't want to. I've got to play active. And now this one. And here, rook d8 is fine. Here, bishop h4 is fine. But this is somehow my opponent's got out of this. And now, I don't know, I took it. It seemed very risky. c4 feels like a better move. Or maybe knight c8 straight away. Try to get rid of some of these dangerous pieces. And then, this was just helping. This was one of those moves, artificial trick move. I've attacked my opponent's rook. But I'm really looking for a trick, right? Rook takes here, check. But in actual fact, what does this bishop move achieve? Nothing. It only helps my opponent. It's one of those trappy moves that is just shite. And now I play the right move. And I've got to try, I guess, to make activity still just about okay here. But look, I've got to find a stupid move like b5 here to keep that bishop blocked in. And if I play b5, I'm playing against that. I mean, b5 looks a really hard move to find after rook takes here check. Then I go king up. No, we can't. No human can play like that. And yeah, this has all gone wrong now. So we'll play from opponent. I think game review wise, it's a pretty good game. I just missed a chance, didn't I? I missed a chance there, but not an obvious winning chance. And my opponent's pawn sacrifice was a very clever idea. Let's see what the engine thinks, eh? So, 2 brilliant moves for my opponent. Not surprising. I think he... Okay, we're in. We're in with another game. So let's see if we can bounce back. I'd love to start with 3 out of 4. So we're getting the same opening again, the Torre. And look, we've got the same line again. See how often we get this. God, my head seems really big on the video there. I've just noticed. I don't know why I'm saying that. Big head. It's weird how you notice random things. Pierre! Hello, sir. So, can you remember what I was saying about the first game? Who was paying attention to the first game? Do I have to watch out for this one? Now, maybe, but I don't need to concern myself too much because I'm going to take everything off. Probably my opponent could consider playing this. I mean, I've had this kind of idea before. And one idea that works quite well in some positions is when everything's been exchanged, f4 and e4. So we might see that. So here I exchange everything off and then f4 and e4. And I've used that kind of strategy before. So now my opponent is really going for this. But I still think I castle. And again, what was the key point I said about this position in general? That poor little trooper over there compared to this gladiator. Okay, so I'm just going to wait, connect the rooks. Maybe it makes this a more attractive idea because if I get my queen here in some lines, there's threats. And if my opponent now plays this, I'm going to take... And my opponent has to watch out for doubling of the pawns. And if b6, trying to develop the bishop, that would be a normal move. Then e4. So now I do take. And if knight takes, I double the pawns. So I'm kind of waiting for this move to occur. Sometimes in chess, the best way to play is to wait for your opponent to, what I say, hang themselves. Not actually hang themselves. That would be stupid. And not very nice. Just, you know, make a mistake. That's what I mean. You see, you've got control of the position and you just don't play... You play a move that you just sort of improves your position but gives them the opportunity to go wrong. I may have even had this exact position in a I say, real game. A proper game before. And remember I said that you got to know some key ideas in the middle game when you play any opening, and this is a key idea. And even though, maybe I could have flicked f5 in, even though my opponent's exchanging pieces here, with the 2 bishops, I should be doing very well. And I'm just going to play the ending, and the reason I'm playing the ending is that look at that bad piece. And also, if this comes here, I create more damage to my opponent's pawns. So my pieces are dominating here. These guys can't get out. It's all to do with that bishop. And if that bishop ever comes out, then black has to think about bishop takes pawn. So I think knight f6 should be played anyway. I think my opponent has to take the double pawns. And after this, maybe I go f5 to restrict that one, but then bishop d7. And I'm going to be slightly better because of the pawn structure. So this is certainly right. And now I'm actually going to play b3. And the reason for that is, I think you've got to think what your opponent wants to play. And I think my opponent wanted to play bishop e6. And after bishop takes there, rook b8 and rook takes here. Now, the way this has happened, I'm hoping that I'm going to try to restrict that bishop. Where does it go? It goes here, f5. If it comes out, or do I put another bishop here? Or do I come in? Let's just get both the rooks working. And it's, I mean, rook d6 is also very tempting. It's just a little bit better for me here. My opponent's doing the best job possible, but my rooks are both on the open lines. My bishop's more active, and I've got pawns to hit. My king can come later on, and it's just a little bit better for white, this structure, right? A little bit better. Bishop here, I'm just trying to think what I do. Do I come rook here? But then rook e8 is interesting. So my opponent comes up. Now, I'm going to play here because actually now my rook is defended. I thought my opponent had to do something else, but okay, the bishop wants to come here. So let's go here. I don't want that bishop stabilizing, and the bishop still wants to come here. So my opponent playing and fighting hard in this position with some good defensive moves. Now I want check here. Okay, so what about here? And we try to come into d6, but my opponent's playing well because now bishop e6, rook d6, king e7. Defending extremely well, I have to admit. I'm thinking of some weird king and pawn ending where I get double c pawns, but I come for this pawn. So what I'm thinking is rook here, king here, rook d8, rook d8, rook d8, rook d8, king d8 with this exchange, and then king g3, king e7, king here, king. None of that happens. Now, giving up the exchange is very risky. If I go here, my Alright, so I have to go here. So this has gone maybe a little bit wrong. My opponent's played this, like I say, very well. Now I want the open file, but do I really want to take double pawns? I don't think I do. So I'm going to take, and I have to take the open file, but my opponent's done a great, and now I have to go for the H pawn, like I said, in endings. So can I use my rook? If my opponent moves the king, my rook comes in. So let's now try to get a zugzwang position. If my opponent moves the rook back, my king comes forwards. Now this move is what is wanted. Yeah, it's very hard to make progress here, yeah? Here takes here. Okay, we'll just do a little bit of a tease, because if here, I will take it now. Now, if here... Okay, my opponent's waiting wisely. Okay, now, let's just dabble a little bit. It's not helping me. My opponent's defending very well here. this move is... My opponent's played this excellently, really well. And I don't even know if I'm better now. Why should I be better? Don't think I am. We keep fighting, but great defense. Great defense from my opponent, yeah. That was a strange move, putting the rook on the passive square. C5 or takes. Could end up losing, huh? We've got to try to push for something. Now check king here is very risky. I could end up losing this. Rook behind the pawn. I'm going to... go for this now. How strong are my pawns? Okay, so I'm just trying to push my pawns as far as they can go. And this should now be winning for me. Very tough though, yeah? My opponent defended well for so long, but it's just gone wrong at the end there. So, yeah, so I just... a little bit of Grandmaster technique at the end after brilliant defense by my opponent. And all was a little bit better until my opponent equalised. And then I was worried I might even lose that ending. I don't think I am losing because you've got to take risks in order to win sometimes in chess, right? So we're on 2 out of 3. We can have a quick look at the tournament scores on the doors. And here we go, everyone. We got a Hikaru on 3 out of 3. Surprise, surprise. And we have a long list of, you know, very high-ranking names. I met Amin Tabata, I can't say it, dyslexia. He won Reykjavik Open, and I met him there. Really, really nice guy. Amin, so big fan of his play. And, well, I could go for the list of players. All you need to know is they're bloody good. And maybe I'll tell you my story after the next game, because what normally happens is I start telling a story and then I get completely lost with trying to tell the story and playing chess. And I'm only just about capable of playing chess anyway, so doing 2 things at once, tricky. So let's get this game out of the way. And where is the normal thing? So we're playing Bardiya Daneshvar. And again, this is me being ignorant or and not up to date. My opponent is 3,100 and obviously a bloody good player. And I don't know who he is. You know, and I should do. I feel like I should. With that kind of rating, you should. So I'm playing a little bit of a different system. I don't normally put my bishop over here straight away. But why not? Let's give it a go. Now, I could get in a lot of trouble here. I'm not sure if this is right or not. And I don't mind my position. Because, now do I play h5 first? Let's go h5 again, because it was quite interesting. Oh shit, what have I done? What? I was only looking at this one. That is just complete madness there. But actually, maybe not. So stupid. Is this really stupid? Is my king safe here? Am I opening up my opponent's king? So my opponent's sacrificing wisely. And now we've got a very messy position. And this is annoying because I don't want to come here. My king is just too weak. I just had a complete blind spot there. That was madness. Now can I go rook here? Takes, queen takes. I think I probably should try. Because if I move that knight, my king's in a lot of danger, yeah? This is clear. I mean, like, rook e1 is scary. Yeah, that's the move I would have played. Because the queen comes here, I am dead. So knight here, queen e4. Queen e8, does that survive? Well, I don't see any other option. I have to maybe do this now. Now I am threatening, I say threatening, I'm threatening potentially to take this. An opponent goes here or here or here, trying to come checkmate. I've got to go queen e8 or rook e8. Rook e8 is also doable. So my opponent's coming this way with some bloody scary ideas. Is that checkmate? God, it's scary, scary, scary stuff, this, yeah? So I have to go here, right? I just you know, when you can just feel that something nasty is happening. I mean, I'm gaining a tempo, defending the threat, and I'm trying to get the rook here, or maybe the rook to f5. Maybe rook f5 was a better defense, but this seems a little bit more active. And now, again, this is a threat. If I go rook e8, knight takes. King here, queen takes here. It doesn't work, does it, for me? It's again scary threat. And the problem is queen e6 is coming with mate. So this is the only move I can see, and take here if the knight comes in. And then I take here, and then I take here. And even that, my pieces are so disjointed. I'm not convinced if it's good. So I'm thinking here I have to take, because if I come back, queen takes e8, rook takes, I'm material down. So here, 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 and then my opponent starts checking me, like check, takes here, maybe something like this, and it's just a complex position. But if I go here, there's check here, winning my rook. If I go here, then takes here, winning the knight. So I'm thinking a bit ahead, but maybe I'm right there. I do have two rooks and a knight. So I wanted to play rook here, but I can never do that because these threats are way too strong. What's my next move? I don't know, because if I go here, there's knight d6. So I'm not sure what my next move is. I mean, my knight is terrible. I don't know. I don't know what my next move is. And again, this is maybe a case of my opponent waiting. Should have waited there. Wait for me to do something silly. Now I thought king e6 was the best try, because if I go here, there's a check. If I lose my rook in nearly every other line. If I go here, takes. I mean, I can do this as well. Was that, I don't know, moving up seemed correct. Got to be very careful about my loose rook here. And this way I keep my knight, because I got knight f8. And when you've got minor pieces against the queen, the key strategy is to try and keep them all defended. So now I have to, can I go here now? My opponent has no checks, right? Playing for the win, obviously. Oh fuck, I've just dropped the rook on, I've dropped the rook up there. I knew my king, I was so obsessed with one rook, I forgot about the other rook, didn't I? I totally forgot about that rook. Oh, you muppet. That was ridiculous. I just dropped the rook there. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Well, that was disappointing, because I think my position was fine. Had I not done what I fucking did. Ay, ay, ay. And I think I defended even pretty well there. I have to say, and this is all just nonsense now. There's too many pawns in the position. So yeah, I think literally fuck is a very good way to sum it up. Actually, I mean, if I get rid of all of these pawns, then there's some half chance, but the possibility of doing that is, dare I say it, not very high. We can try. And there's no point resigning yet, because knights are tricky. So are queens, and I can see myself losing my rook here. But let's make my opponent at least win this position. So we've got to come up, and I know I'm allowing this kind of stuff, but what else to do? And he really... Okay, he wants to take there. Okay. Which way? Here? Long way out the way, that one. Okay, we go here. Because now check. He's got to be careful where he puts his king, no? Not really. I mean, the knight and rook are never going to cause that many problems in the position. But we're trying, right? That's all you can do in life. God loves a trier. Is that a saying? Is that right? Is that actually true? You know, I'd love it if it was my move here. And I can feel my pieces and really... Can I get a stalemate? It's desperate when you have to start looking for stalemates. And he's got so many pieces here. It's kind of like... I don't know why I'm playing on, really. Let's go for a stalemate. I mean, okay, I'm resigning. So that was, yeah, just a little slip there. Fuck. And I think I defended very well there. Let's go back and just see where I slipped. I knew I should have brought my king to the centre. And I think I'm doing all right there, had I not been a bloody idiot. So we got this position, very interesting position. And now... Yeah, look at this. So, of course, I have to play with my instinct, yeah? I was always going to play king e6, and then I decided not to play it. Actually, every other move is losing, because my rook is dropping. Yeah, it is dropping through checks, isn't it? So I have to play here. And this is what I was originally going to play. And I talked myself out of it. And then after here, I was just going to go here and just try to get prepared. And this is... Why do I will see these things, but I never fucking play them. What the fuck is wrong with me? Fuck. Why? So we're on 50%. But like last week, this is maybe where we rock and roll. Yeah, we need 4 out of 4 now. 4 out of 4. Get to 6 out of 8. Come on. 7.5. You're coming. 4 out of 4. I'm playing all right. I've just got to like stop blundering. Easier said than done. Okay, now last time I saw you guys, I think I was telling you last Tuesday I was going to Glastonbury. Not the festival, the village, town, whatever you want to call it, probably a town, on the Wednesday with a friend of mine. And I love Glastonbury. It's a couple of hours drive from where I live. If you ever come to England, you don't live in England, and you like hippie stuff, which is legends, myths, then Glastonbury's for you, because it has quite a lot of very interesting history. Maybe the oldest church in Britain, and you can imagine how old that is. That's one of the rumours. It was said that one legend is that Joseph of Arimathea, again, sorry if my pronunciation is wrong, dyslexic, who was Jesus's uncle, I think. Basically, went to Glastonbury a lot because he was a tin merchant, and there's two legends about that. The first one, and I find this stuff fascinating, is that in the Bible there's quite a segment missing where Jesus, there's no reports of Jesus in his younger years, like what happened to him. He was born, blah blah blah, crucified later on. What happened at this little period of time when he was younger? Now, there are reports that Joseph of Arimathea, let's just call him Joe, took him to Glastonbury, and that is, and Jesus went to Glastonbury. The other story is that when Jesus died, Joseph took the Holy Grail to Glastonbury, and that's more of a possibly some sort of fact, not fact, some you could believe that there's some evidence that he went to, after Jesus died, he went to Glastonbury and took the Holy Grail there, and he started a church there, and the Holy Grail went to Glastonbury, and blah blah blah. There's loads of legends around it. It was very interesting. And then the legend goes that he took the Holy Grail and he sort of buried it somewhere, had it somewhere under what is the Torre, which is an amazing hill with very old building on top, a tower. It's got no trees on it. It really stands out. It's in the middle of a load of ley lines, energy lines, natural energy lines, and this place is quite a magical place, to be honest. And at the bottom is also a cave with a spring, and there's lots of springs there, and one of the springs is where the holy water is supposed to come from. So I obviously get myself some of the magic water. There you go, the Chalice Well magical water from the spring. So if I get Legionnaire's disease, it's because I'm drinking basically water from a spring, and I don't know if it's clean or not, but that'd be rather ironic if I'm trying to drink the Holy Grail's water and I end up dying of Legionnaire's disease. But I've got my bottle, and I filled up a couple of big bottles. And I always love going to Glastonbury because you get some really interesting people there. And right by the bottom of the tour, there's always people playing music, and you meet some real characters, which I did this time. Druids. I've met loads of witches, druids, everything you can imagine. They're often dancing around in the moonlight, these people. It's weird. And they've got some great pubs, and they serve mead, strong mead, which I love. I love mead, and good cider. So what's not to love, right? You can go to a weird magical place. It's like weird Disneyland, stories and stuff on alcohol. Great. But it ended quite peculiar, because I got a room at a hotel for myself, the Georgian Pilgrim Hotel, and it's a very old building, much older than America. It's only 100. No, everything in England is much older than America. Calm down. It's all right. It's nice to have a nice new country. You might not ruin it. And it was really old, and I got back to the room, and I was pretty wasted, and it wasn't that late. I went to bed, and I must have fallen asleep with the light on or something, but then I was like, it was quite weird, quite a weird room. And then I woke up very soon, because I could hear, when you're in that half sleeping state, I could hear someone, I think, crying in the bathroom. And obviously, it is the bathroom I'm not sharing. It's just I do have my own little toilet and old bathroom attached to the bedroom. I was like, what the fuck is that? There's literally some crying, that I could hear. And I was like, what? This is not what I want. It's not what I signed up for, And I thought, yeah, this is freaky. And I was like, right, I better go and see what's going on. And I opened up the bathroom door, and there was nothing there, but it freaked me out. So I thought, Right, okay, I can't get back to sleep now. I don't really like that shit. It freaks me out. And I'm just going to Google it and bring it up. Is this the alien? It is the alien. I think this is the alien. It's the alien! I'll tell you the rest of it in a minute, because it's quite interesting. We have another break. And we have the alien. So what can we do to take the alien down? Now, he loves... Okay, he loves playing d5. He'll play d5. What we got to do with the alien, we've got to get the first sacrifice in. Now he's probably going to go something mental, because he's this guy. Great, he's a great lad. Brilliant lad, and he loves attacking. He's like an absolute animal. I think I'm an animal. Who's more the animal? Are you the animal, or am I the animal? Who's the animal? This guy is an animal, and I love the way he plays chess. And he's a lovely chap. I met him in Oslo. Really, really nice guy. And he's a very interesting attacking player. And I expect bishop c5. Yeah, of course you play bishop c5. So what do we do now? Do we love to get the queen over here, but that's not a very good move at the moment, correct? So do we develop? Or do we go for this? Okay, this is like this looks dodgy, because hello, and you don't want to be doing this stuff against the alien, because the alien, the guy's like, I thought I was animal. This is the true animal. Come on, I've got to concentrate more. This guy's scaring me already. I think he just castles, and when I go here, he goes like rook e8, and he starts like attacking me down here. Yeah, he's going to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna play the most interesting line, because what I do like about the alien, I call him the alien, it's probably not his name, is that he's a very interesting player. Now, I'm going to just develop. I'm not going to take that one, because it's going to let him in. And I'm going to try to put my king on g2. If he moves the knight, I'm going to go for f6, and I'm going to try to get my own attack. So my king is going to try to come to g2. It's about as safe as I can see. And if he moves this guy, I'm going to open up the bishop and try to have some of my own fun. A wild position. If nothing happens, I will put the queen here, give my king a little bit more stability, and work it out after I've done that. Because I don't know. It's a crazy position, yeah? Crazy position. So this move I don't think helps him. Against that, we probably go bishop. Well, I mean, one plan I got is queen here, bishop d2. So this looks very sensible. So let's get rid of that knight. It's too strong. Now I want to go f6, but he's got a check over here. So I think we should fly first with f6. And I've got to stop that check, because if I'd have gone f6, bishop h3 was not just a check, it was check bloody mate. Whoa! And now I've got these two ideas, and I'm also got bishop d2. Love it. He keeps on coming. Great move. Great move. This is a brilliant move. And credit where credit is due. So I'm going to take it. Well, I probably have to do this. And now, which pawn do we push? I think we go here. Both kings are exposed. Maybe here is safest. And we are just slogging at each other's king here. Now, I'd love to get a rook to g1 at some point, but his bishop is not allowing that to happen. Now, my queen luckily stops the check here. So how we actually finish development? I mean, something like here and here looks vaguely sensible, right? Vaguely. And if he goes here, I'll slip in. Now, if he takes, I was hoping g6. And the madness is continuing here. If he goes pawn here, so the problem is if I go king here, yeah, he's got this diagonal. So maybe something like, I mean, he's playing like me. This is scary. Now, I think I should take this and play like the alien. What would the alien do? The alien would take this. He would not think twice. And he would go rook here and probably regret it very soon. And I've got f7 and rook e8. This is my idea. So check here. Check here. And if he takes here, f7 and rook e8. My king, as I said, wants to sit here. Now he might be able to flick in a g6 at some point. I don't know. If he checks here, takes that rook, I take that bishop. But I don't know if that's good or bad. So now f7, right? Let's play it. I have to do this. And now this looks correct because otherwise... And now I can't go here. Can I go here? Check. Crazy position, right? Here, bishop check, lose my queen. Should be winning, but it's and I'm kind of enjoying this game, I have to admit. Is this the clinical way to do it and just take and play that position? I want something stronger. So here, why don't I like that? What was wrong with that? So rook check, king here, rook here. And if here check, king here, he has at least a draw. So it might have to be this move. But then bishop check, king here. Or okay, so I have to, I think if I want to play for a win, play this. Because I've got rook f2 if he comes in with a check. And I know I'm giving up material, but his bishops and rook were very dangerous. Fascinating stuff. I love to play a little match against the alien because he played my kind of chess. He's like, who is the madder hacker, me or the alien? I don't know. This guy is he's a madman. He's bonkers. So this should be winning now. This should be winning because the queen is a good piece, and I've also got like this one coming. So which way? Center? Maybe center. And my king is quite safe. It's always like coming around. So I'm afraid, my friend, that is the end. I just love playing exciting players because they're the best. And if you're not aware of, I call him the alien because he's made this amazing Gambit ideas against the Caracan and the French, where he just sacks on f7. And the guy, I need some holy water after that. And the guy is an animal. So I enjoyed that one, and I also enjoyed winning. So like, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to put it on the computer. Thanks to the game, my friend. Back to Glastonbury. So I basically heard this thing, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? A little bit paranoid, probably. And I'm in my room, and I'm like, you know, I was like, right, I'm going to show you what I Googled. So I thought, I'm going to Google what the hell's going on in this room, because it just feels weird now. There's some weird stuff going on. There's some weird vibes, man. So I will show you what I Googled. I Googled the number of my room. I think it was room 10. This is what it came up with. And it basically says guests report room 10 at the Georgian Pilgrims Inn in Glastonbury is highly haunted. Great. Thank you for telling me that, Mr. Reception Man, when I was checking in. You're having a bloody laugh. I don't want to share my room with spirits from another world. I want to sleep. Visitors see glowing blue circles in the dark and feel a heavy presence. Photos taken in the room often show strange floating lights. Many guests prefer to leave the bathroom lights on all night. That's TripAdvisor. Some guests have seen a figure walking through the wall of the bathroom into their bedroom. Really? You know, so I just what you want, right? You can Google it yourself. I think it was room 10. It was George and Pilgrim Glastonbury. Now I am on Twitter or X or whatever you bloody call it now, if you want to follow me there. But I do use Instagram a bit more. You can search GingerGM and find me on Instagram. I don't really post a lot of chess stuff there, but I was posting about this story on Instagram with the room key. And so basically you can imagine I've had a day out in Glastonbury. You know, it's been emotional. And I get back to the room, I hear crying in the bedroom, I Google this, highly haunted. Great. And what am I doing here? Am I doing this or this? And then so I ended up I had some more mead in my room. I ended up doing that. I went down for a cigarette, and I just stayed up all night. And I was like thinking, I just couldn't sleep. It was ridiculous. You know, I just could not sleep, which is just annoying because I was worried if I sleep, the bloody thing might go through walk through the wall or something. Now, what is happening with this one? He's got the check, right? This seems like a little bit loose to me. Now, let's go here with ideas of this, and also taking and bishop b5. Anyway, that was my little trip to Glastonbury. So it was I was going to say entertaining. It was interesting, right? Interesting trip, and that's what we need in life. Interesting trips. I've had a fair few of them. Right, so I've played a line which I'm kind of making up as I go, but it seems to be quite funky, yeah? Oh my god, it's the funky how to kill the c3 Sicilian. I've never liked playing against c3 Sicilian. It's very positional. It's very a very decent opening. And this way I've got this bishop forever, and look at my opponent's development. It ain't too good. So I'm just going to play very normally by castling and putting a rook against my opponent's queen. There might have been some other clever ways I could have done that, but as it's a blitz game, let's just keep it simple. Get the another piece in, and my opponent has this discombobulation in the nation against my vacation, and I'm running out of vocations. Okay, shut up, Simon. And this looks like a great position for me. I mean, just for one little pawn, right? It's a wee little pawn. A wee little pawn. Who cares about the wee little pawns? They're like lemmings. They love jumping off cliffs, pawns do. You know, if you've ever played Lemmings, that's what your pawns are for. Just throw them off the cliffs. So I'd imagine he has to really go bishop e3, and one setup is bishop g4. That's quite a tasty pin. Let's put the knight there because that is a pressure point, and we'll start pressuring the pressure point. So this is a very nice bishop I got. So we'll create a nice pin. We're pinning. We've got ideas of knight f4. Knight f4 wins that pawn immediately. He wants to come here, right? Now, do we win the pawn back, or do we look for more, like f4? F4, he's got to deal somehow with this threat of f5. So that and that good, but I want more because of my good development, etc. Now if he goes here trying to counter-attack with queen c4, it's kind of got to that stage where he should be looking at that kind of thing. It doesn't look like it should work somehow. Here, here, queen here, bishop e6 for example, and I keep trying to pin him in uncomfortable ways. So we wanted 4 out of 4 in this section. This is what we're going for. And I need, look at this, I need to get more of the holy water in. The healing water. Didn't help with the bloody ghost, did it? Well, I didn't have any. I just filled up the next day. And I don't know if I heard anything really. I mean, I could have just been wasted and like, you know, but there was something weird going on, you know, when you feel, sometimes you get that feeling, don't you, like you're being watched or something. And you know, I've been in a lot of hotel rooms in my life, let's put it that way. So maybe that was another way to crash bang wallop, right? Would that have worked? Well, maybe, but it's not so clear. This seems like more scary because, okay, he gets his queen out the pin and now he's got to do something like this. So he's getting as much material as he can, but it shouldn't be enough, right? It shouldn't be enough. Let's just tuck this guy away. And I think we can safely take that one and get our king out the pin. Now, yeah, he can get 3 pawns now for the piece, but he's got very good knight, so should we get rid of that knight because it is a very good knight. But then he comes over here and he starts doing annoying things there. So he wants this one, right? Do we come over here and attack as well? It's a little bit murky still, or maybe this is better. Yeah, I want to keep attacking because it covers that knight. And if he goes rook here, okay, we'll put it over here. It looks kind of fun. I've got all, you know, this one, he suddenly threatens checkmate, doesn't he? It's a bit weird. So do we just play queen here first to defend and keep this one in mind? This seems like the most sensible way to play. And expected. Now I wanted to go knight here now because... we should playing very slowly, aren't I? Knight here, then he takes. I don't want to open up the files like that, so let's put the rook over here, yeah. And still think this is a key piece, but he can't move his rook now, at least because of checkmate threats. So I want to go rook here and knight f6 so I can take the rook and get rid of his remaining bits. Seems like the most sensible way to play this. Okay, so he's forcing my knight to move. So now this is becoming more of an option, but I don't think it's right. Where's my knight? My knight looks good on e6. Oh no, but then he takes here. So, okay, we'll just bring it back and put it on one of these 2 squares, which defends stuff and things. You can't really take this pawn because I can flip back with bishop to b8 as well. And let's get the rook to f8. That brings another one over. Stops his queen coming in. He is threatening checkmate now. So I should do something about that, I would have thought. I go here. And now knight f6 is this working? I want to get the queens off because I'm material up. Am I material up? I think I am. I should have gone there last move. Why didn't I go there? Okay, and it's too little time for my opponent here, I feel. I mean, the position is not completely hopeless for him, I say. It is now. It probably was bad for him. It was probably bad for him anyway. Let's just go back to this position. I think my piece is worth more than his pawns, and you can see, according to the computer, I'm I'm better here anyway. So we're now on 4 out of 6. So we're going to get 2 very tough games, and of course I want to get to 6 out of 8. 7.5. This is the golden score. 7.5. That's all we want in life. Get to that nice little 7.5. Mwah, mwah. Do my ginger salt bay. I look more like, yeah. Well, not salt bay. Mentally deranged ginger bay. This could be my new persona. New persona. Yeah. Okay. So yes, that was an interesting last Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to be able to top that. And this video will probably come out on Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to be able to top that when this video comes out on Wednesday. How can you top that? I actually got a very exciting job of putting a bed together, rather than going, tripping around Glastonbury, meeting druids, witches, ghosts. Hardly as fun, is it? Hardly as fun. But yeah, actually, let me just Google that then. I did just Google it a minute ago, but we've shut it down. So let me just show you that I'm not talking. So I'm just going to bring up Chrome. Probably Proctor's going to say you're cheating, and let's just show you. Does this catch Chrome on this? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to have to do another little screen capture. And I think it was room 10. Room 10. George. Is it George and Pilgrim? Glastonbury. Okay, so this is the search. The haunted. Okay. I love what it's coming up with now. Oh, the game has started, but let's just show you this anyway. I'm playing something pretty good. Look at the things. Look, you can see what it says there. Look at the first search. This haunted hotel is feared by locals. It's an overwhelming sense they are not alone. Room 10. And the funny thing was, when I okay, well, we'll play some chess now. When I went down to check out, I was obviously a little bit tired. I needed my full English breakfast, which I absorbed with some skill and vigour. Because bloody hell, I was still pooing myself. And I went down and who we're playing? Playing this guy's high rated, yeah? So what are we doing with a drunken sailor? What's this bishop doing here? This is annoying, right? Do we have check and bishop here? No, knight comes here. Early in the morning, away up Jerez. So he's just going to bring this knight out. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just a bit confused why my position looks bad, because it feels like it shouldn't be bad. I'm spending a lot of time because it just feels like this shouldn't be a bad position. But okay, I don't really want to take that pawn. I have to go here. This looks a bit strange. Can't remember what I was talking about now. I've lost it. My opponent's confused me too much. This is just to give my bishop a square, but it doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. I have to look this opening up, and you know where I'm going to look it up? It's time for that normal little sales pitch that I do around this moment in time. What is the best chess site to look things up? The best opening site? The best database site? What site are you guys going to go and try out? Please do. It's worth it. You'll have the time of your life. You will learn stuff. Do you want to get better at chess? Are you serious? Are you serious about your chess development? Are you? Well, if you are, you will go to which site? Yes, you know the site, chesspublishing.com. The link is in the description. Okay, so I may be a little bit worse in. I've spent a lot of time, not really getting a lot of activity, but my opponent. Okay, that's a good move. So we have to vacate the bishop. And we're a bit passive here. I'm not a great fan of this. My bishop has to come back here when that knight jumps in. And it feels like things are brewing. I'd love to do something more apple pie-y. Can we go here and here? Not sure. Feels like something creaking. And it's not just my bones or my brain or the bathroom handle to room 10 at the Georgian Pilgrim pub in Glastonbury. Yeah, so that was it. So I went down, I had my breakfast, and when I was sort of there, I basically said to the guy, like, that room was weird. And you know what? He just looked at me and he laughed and he said, I know. Did you sleep? And I was like, fuck, did I? No, of course I didn't bloody sleep. And some fucking ghost laughing at me. Bloody bastard. So I don't know what I did to upset the reception guy. Surely, you know, what's that about? Okay, anyway, let's go back to the chess. So this one is a little bit weak, but I want to get rid of that one. Now if he comes here, my queen's so outplay here. So this is the problem. Now if I come back, takes, am I trapping his queen? Okay, so I'm going to go for this, and I'm hoping that if his queen comes in, I get some well-needed counterplay, because I've been lacking counterplay. Oh shit! Fuck a duck! Fucking moron! Just well, that's not the kind of counterplay I had envisaged. Oh, okay. So I wanted to. I just, yeah, again, blundering, blunder, and yeah, that basically is gonna cost me. Probably just getting mated now as well. Can I take that? If I go here, he takes. I mean, it doesn't really matter now. I think my position is gone. So let's give him the satisfaction of mate. I want one more move. Now I want this one more move, which might give me like a glimmer of hope, but I'm never going to be able to play it. Never in a million years going to play it. And let's resign because there's not much doing. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad game. He outplayed me there. We need to win the next one to get to 5. We need 3.5 out of 4. That didn't go well, did it? Didn't go well. So I should look at the opening. I don't know. Can I look on Chess Publishing quickly? Let me do that quickly, because I mean, just to show that I think it is. I'm not just making this up. I want to honestly not fall for that shit again. So if we go to this window and let's see how quickly we can do this before the next game starts, hopefully. And go to Chess Publishing. And let's go there. And we are logged in. Now the database page is the best page. This is where there's 27 years worth of annotated games. I'm going to quickly clear the filter. Let's flip the board. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. And the opening I'm going to put on the board. And I want to see where I went wrong, because I felt like I went wrong. So I went d6, c3, knight f6, h3, bishop d7. Looks okay. Let's just see if there's anything with this. No, maybe bishop d7 is not okay, so we'll search this position. We don't need any videos. Let's clear the search features and search. Is bishop d7 a move? Okay, there's one game. Vidit played bishop d7, so here we go. So now I've got the annotated games, and I can see what grandmasters actually say, and I knew this was a move. So let's see where I went wrong. So it went bishop d3, exactly what my opponent played. Bishop. Okay, so I played the bishop there. And now I can see that Vidit, who's playing my opponent. Wow, this is a game of my opponent. Look, my opponent, you can see, against Vidit. But I've got the annotated games here. So moving the knight's better. Bishop c2, and now rook c8. And let's say castles. you can see that Vidit made a mistake and played g6, and Vidit lost this game in Title Tuesday. Now what he should have done, and this is where the annotations come in, he should have played e5, as I can see from the notes. Who's annotating this? David Fitzsimons. He's an IM from Ireland. And this is to discourage this move, because if he does play d4 now, there's going to be a problem with the bishop after everything's exchanged. So this is how I'll play it in future. Rook e1, bishop e7, and now there's a lot more analysis here, as you can see, which I could dive into in some depth. Bishop b3 is a novelty, but it hasn't been played, as we can see from the graph. And the other thing I can do, just to save this game for later, you have this little add to collections thing, so I can just add the game and I can create a new collection. So this is a great way to make your Sicilian or anti-Sicilian, isn't it really? And I'm just going to make a little database there, and anti-Sicilian, and I can put all my anti-Sicilian games in. You can see anti-Sicilian here, and we can add the game to that. Done. There you go. So I'll look at that later, and you can hopefully see how easy it is on Chess Publishing. The link is below. It's only the cost of a coffee a month to get 26 years worth of annotated games there. You can pay monthly as well. Why don't you just give it a go for a month, and if you don't like it, cancel. Cool. And the mistake I made, so if we go back to the actual game, is that the bishop shouldn't go here, but the bishop is used, as David Fitzsimons says. How did he explain it? This is a logical response, seen as white has just deprived black use of the g4 square, so that's not allowed. But white can protect the e pawn now. So what I'm doing with this move, I want to go knight takes pawn, but queen a4 check will win my knight. So by playing this, I'm threatening to take the pawn. My opponent defends the pawn, but now this just seems like the wrong plan. Putting the bishop here, because my opponent got a very decent position as soon as he got this move in, right? So what I should be doing, I feel, maybe there's something in that as well, but what I should be doing, if I follow Vidit's idea of playing just knight c6, a more logical move, and I just want to remember now, let's have a look. Bishop d7, bishop d3, knight c6, bishop c2, and now this useful move. Now you have to ask yourself questions as well. If d4 here, well, I think the point is we take and go knight here, and this looks quite nice because we've got the bishop coming here, etc., and we get rid of that very nice bishop. Okay, so I know what to do now. Very simple, and obviously I can look at that game in much more detail if need be. So what did I say, Ron? We're on round 7. There's one more round. Now the next round is kind of a key round, because if I can win the next one, get to 5 out of 8, there's still that big chance of getting a good score. I better shut down Chess Publishing now, otherwise I'll get in trouble. It is shut down. There you go. There's nothing there, as you can see. And let's try and beat this. Where's that? That's Mozambique. Okay, John Abraham. And we're going to get this Torre idea again. So there's a big game here. Now this is a gambit. I don't know if we can call it the Williams gambit. Oh, my opponent playing a very passive move there. I don't believe this could be good for him, because this bishop is biting on granite. Now his position is very dangerous already. He could be getting in a lot of trouble here. e5, and we're just going to try to kill him. Knight takes here, or do I take here first? Let's take here first, threatening this one. And I want to take, and I want to take, and I want to take. I want to kill you, because that is what we do in chess. We play to kill, and there's some extreme pressure going on d7. And after this move, my opponent can't defend d7. He played very quickly in this game, but I'm not particularly great, and I've won a piece. But not just that, the last move stops in castling, I'm threatening a double check. I might even have the queen coming in. So he's playing this king move. And this looks like fun for me, right? If he can get this and this, he might win that knight. But we ain't going to let that happen. In a month of Sundays, do we throw this in? I think that looks natural. Playing not to be safe. Knight e5 was the safe way to win. But okay. 14 moves. Boom! The Torre. Great opening. And my opponent played far too quickly there. In this position, this little move d5, well, b6 makes no sense because what's the bishop doing there? It's biting on granite. That's my Hannibal Lecter granite biting face. Don't bite on granite. It's not good for you. You're going to damage your teeth and you will have a very large dentist bill. Or no, or you just be eating soup for a long time. So I just came through the centre now and he was playing very quickly, but all of my moves, check, open the position up because my bishops are tremendous. Open up the queen. Bring in the knight. And this is move 10, and if we put it on the tournament thing, you can see that it's already plus 5, 6. That is too much. So now we got to 5 out of 8. It's not a bad score. We need 2.5 out of 3. Can I do it? Come on, let me know. Do you think I can do it? Can I do it? Let me know. Tell me. Well, don't tell me. You'll see it, won't you? But just think if I can. Give me some positive thoughts, even though it is a weird timeline because it doesn't maybe matter what you're thinking because it's already happened. But in Glastonbury, any timeline is possible. And according to Einstein, timeline is not necessarily linear. So by you thinking I can win it might help me retrospectively in some weird alternative universe. I need to read more physics books. I mean, yeah, I mean, I did alright at maths. I was quite a good maths guy, but I much prefer patterns, you know, than numbers and patterns. They can be quite interesting, can't they? Right, 3 games to go, and I'm going to go and refill on some holy bloody water from the natural spring of the Holy Grail, and I'll be back. But you guys, the next game will start in a second or 2. Right, we're playing a very tough guy, and we need 2.5 out of 3. And we played this guy before, and he's very tricky. He's always around about this grade. And we're going to go for Rapport's Stonewall Dutch, starting with this idea. He's very quick, and already I'm quite happy with the way this opening's gone. I do have a course on this which you can download. I actually look at this position, that course, from the GingerGM shop, and it's an opening which I've had a lot of success with. It's very, very dangerous for white, and I'm just going to try kill this guy now. So I'm literally coming at him as aggressively as I can. This or bishop d7. Let's develop. And I've got a great position. Let's not fuck it up. Famous last words. Bishop here, is that playable? Okay, let's try. Why do I do that? Why do I do silly things when I could just play a normal move and I have to... Why don't I just take on f3? It's like nerves sometimes, yeah? Okay, I've got a good position maybe still, but not very clear. Now, queen here. Try to come in and checkmate the bastard. So it's a great... I get such great positions with this opening. As black, I've crushed so many good players, and it is a brilliant opening. I mean, if you've been watching my Title Tuesdays, you know what I'm talking about. You know that the success I've had with this is pretty bloody phenomenal. Now, castles or g5? I think we go g5, right? Then here, or do we castle? Let's castle. We don't care about pieces so much. We care about checkmate. But I regularly mess up the positions I get. And don't tempt fate again. I mean, I should have taken on f3. That was annoying. But my pieces are great. I'm only a piece down. And g5, or is there something stronger here? Like here, even. Then, okay, let's g5, yeah? Now if I takes. It's getting very complicated. He's defending like reasonably well, I feel, but let's see. If he takes here, is my attack working or not? Now the point is, if he takes here, I have knight f3, so he's got to do this. So here, takes, and I'm not material up, so takes here. If bishop e3, I take it. If he takes with a knight, I come in here, check. And if he takes my queen, I take there and I take there. So this looks forced. Let's just take it before he gets a chance to block. And now, yes, this is only my king can always come here. It's more important I go for the kill. Rook takes here, queen here is extremely dangerous. Now, should be a win now. Check. Blocks for the queen. Check. Come in. Can he defend that one? I don't know. Let's just do it. Maybe should have thought about these moves. This is with two ideas. I thought gonna be winning, but I should have. It's a bit risky. I've got 3 pawns. I've got a monstrous attack. We've also got queen here, rook here. Come on! I want that 7.5. And if he goes here, check here. If he goes here, check here. If he goes here, check here. What can he do? Here, check here, and I've got to be able to win that position. If I can't win that, I shouldn't be playing chess. So here, check. Why did I not look at it? Why don't I look at this one? Check, check looks best, and then rook here. Let's do that. Let's keep it simple. Check. And now let's keep the attack going. Check. Check. Come on. And then boom. 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 Should we offer him a draw? No. Boom. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, son. Oh, 32 moves of violence. Come on, 7.5. What an opening that is. And you can learn all about that at GingerGM.com. I still have... That was the last video course that I made for GingerGM. I need to make another video course. What video course would you like to see? I was thinking one of the Kilkenny, a really aggressive Kilkenny repertoire, because I've played it quite a lot now. But the last course I did was on this opening. And the whole point of Rapport Stonewall Dutch, it's a setup you do in the Dutch against the fianchetto system. So the repertoire starts here, and the fianchetto system is what is recommended universally for white to play against the Dutch. And so many players on the white side, including nearly 3,000 rated players, get in a lot of trouble because black waits for e3. This is important. And then, boom, off we go to the races. And we try to kill with a very nice hold on the center of the board. And this is incredibly dangerous. I already feel this position is better for black. And I don't know how much that course is. It's about $40 if you want to download it. I've also, if you don't want to spend any money, I've got a free YouTube video on my channel somewhere where I explain the basis of this. So that actually covers it pretty well, I have to be honest. If you have limited funds, as I can understand, because I'm there as well. And it's a very dangerous system, and I started to go a little bit, I got a little bit nervous there, because boom, look at this. Oh god, this is just like, this is only move 13, and we're just coming straight through the position, and he gives me another tempo here. Can you believe it? And now, oh, I said that this should have been played, but look, the top move is the move I played. Wow. And after this, Queen D6 is the second move. Okay, this is even better actually, but I've seen this idea before. I mean, sometimes it's actually good doing work on these courses for myself, because I get to learn. And I know this idea of Queen D6 is very strong. He comes up one of your own defences, but look at this. I'm playing well, man. And now here, and what do I play? Knight F3 is a good move. What? And then G5. That just giving up another piece. What is that, man? I'm not even a piece down here. I thought I was a piece down. I didn't even realise. This is how my brain's like. I thought I was a piece down. But we do give up a piece. We've got to, really. Boom! And now, if he goes rook takes here, I win the queen, because knight f3 is a major threat, because I'm stabilising. So it's a monstrous position. And then here, and boom. And look at this. All my moves are the computer's top choice. Here. And he goes here. And now look. Look at this. I keep playing. I'm playing like Macau Tao in heaven. I'm playing like the anointed one. Whoosh. Whoosh. I need to have like some DJ deck here to go through these moves again. We get rid of a key defender, and little, that's little, and large, that's large, are gonna really destroy him. Only defense, but now check. And if he goes here, I was going to go check. And if he goes here, I was going to go check. And I can show that because it's quite pleasant. Check here, check here, check here. And yes, we take that with mate. Oh, let's have a look at the game view. That's got to be at least 110% game for me. Come on. You just got to play like that all your life. Oh, maybe one of my best performances ever. 3,250. I don't really believe the chess.com game review, but I did, I have to admit, play like a fucking legend there. And the only reason I played like a legend is because I know the opening so well. I made this GingerGM course on it. I've even had that same tactic all the way up to knight takes d4. So this position I've had before. Okay, now we always get a little bit fucked up by this guy. So we need 1.5 out of 2 to get to 7.5. We lost to this guy last week. We played the trompe. Let's not do the trompe. Let's go for, I don't know, something else. Let's go for the Queen's Gambit. Let's keep it nice and simple. The trompe, I think we lost him last week. Now this is a very sharp line, and it's a very popular line. Oh god, what do I do here? I've already okay, let's castle. Castle can't be wrong. And I think Ding played an idea with this. I seem to recall. So we're going to go with one of my heroes, Dingy Boy. Dingy dong dong ding ding ding. This one, yeah. Okay, so now we're going for bishop h6. So he comes back. Now rook d1 looks sensible because this pawn could be nibbled. And if he goes here, then I take this pawn. And I want to attack the king. How do we attack the king? Well, h4 is a useful attacking move because it gives me g5 for a piece. Maybe a knight, maybe a bishop. We don't need to worry too much about the queen side because checkmate ends the game. And again, the only reason I know about this game, and this is a really good tactic that you can use. Now, is he going to take there? Is that something I need to worry about? Is this ding game? And okay, so I want to play knight here, but then a6, knight c3, knight c2, rook a1, knight takes here. How am I? I don't think okay. We're gonna rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. This is the most aggressive. Before he takes that attacking piece off. Very risky, actually. I mean, I played this and I'm thinking, why did you do that? Because I want to... Yeah, so he comes here. Now, I've got to go here. And he is going to take this pawn. And then I want some bishop move like this. Or, I could play bishop e3 and give that light square bishop up. Now, if I move the bishop over here, does that help my attack? No, so we go this. I'm not worried about losing a pawn because that pawn seemed irrelevant. I want to move all my pieces towards his king, and I want to kill. So we're bringing in. I don't have a light square bishop. That's kind of annoying. Can I create enough problems with my other pieces here? So queen here, h6. Knight f4. Knight f4 is part of the game, isn't it? We have to just throw them at his king. Throw them towards his king. I'm going all in with the hack now. So takes here, nothing. Now, if I go here, takes, is his bishop going to come here and defend? Rook here, knight here. There's a lot of ideas here. Do I even get rid of that knight? Do I play the weird move f3? Okay, I'm going to play f3 because bishop e4 seems to be a very important way for him to defend this diagonal. I don't care if he wins my knight because I take here. I've also got king f2 and rook h1, and I just need to. I've just gone all in basically. We've loaded the shotgun, and we're running around like a loony now. Who wants some? Who wants some? Come and get it. That's basically what we're doing. If he goes rook here, takes, queen takes, knight takes e6. So he's trying to eliminate some pieces. Now, I'm thinking about even doing this, but I need to have a follow-up. It's not my phone ringing. Well, this does look like the most sensible choice, no? Okay, let's play. Let's not go too gung-ho. Now, is this knight doing anything? Probably not. I'm gonna have to get it back and get it here. So yeah, so actually, it's not. I haven't really found a way to break through, and I am a pawn down. But I do still have a little bit of pressure over here. I'm thinking if I can get the knight now to this square, and I've got to avoid losing. So he comes in with a counter, and he wants to take here maybe. He's an aggressive player there. So if I move the rook around and go more all in, okay, let's do it. He's got bishop here as well. This guy, man. This guy gets me regularly. Bishop here. I'm thinking c3. This one. This one. I thought bishop c5 was better for him. Because if I get my rook here, I'm still somewhat punting. So obviously I'm putting all my chips now on this attack. Now bishop c5 could be a good move. And if I take, he takes here, king here, rook here. And then I come in with a knight and we just fingers crossed jobby. We're trying some mad stuff here, and I've got to move a bit quicker. So let's do it. So takes here. I attack his rook. Probably don't have enough here, but we're giving it everything we got. Shite. He's also got some ideas. Not allowed to do that. Don't really want to move my knight back, do I? Yeah. Okay. I needed knight g5. Alright, let's keep trying something, but this is only... It's only... Can I go this way as well? Maybe I should have tried that last move. But then the knight would have dropped. So if he goes here, then we have to come forwards, yeah? And if we get the rook there and the bishop here, we're still trying. Okay, let's go. Doesn't matter if he... Oh, okay, but then he is taking here a number of times. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah. Okay. It's not looking great, is it, guys? This guy always comes and ruins the party. We threw everything at his king, but I don't think we did it in a very impressive way. Actually, we did it. I'm going to whack this on chess publishing, this opening, actually, because I will learn more from doing chess publishing. So let me just do this very quickly. I don't know if I have time for the next round, but at least I can save it in my collections, just because I need to learn more about this opening. I thought it was a ding game, but it'd be interesting to know where I may have gone wrong. So okay, so let's go databases. I think we'll stick with the updates, and let's have a look at the opening. We'll refresh the board, and very quickly the opening moves. I think I should be able to remember them. It went something like this, right? And then he took here, then he played this line. So here takes, and now he went knight b6. And let's have a look already at this, I think, because this is a key position where white has a number of options. So again, all you do on chess publishing, you put the position on the board you're interested in, you press search position, you have filters here, so you can look for videos, you can look for certain players, but by pressing, you can also arrange it with date, or you can arrange it with the highest elo if you want to learn from the highest elo. But the last game played was actually quite recently, and I just want to see now, get a feel. Well, bishop e2 certainly feels right, and let's just see how Sarawana played this. So I hope you can see this while we wait for the last game. We still get 7 points, which were obviously fight hard for. This doesn't seem that inspiring. Now, was there a game of dings? Let's see if I'm just imagining this. So I'm going all the way down. Magnus Carlsen, have a look at his game in a minute. But I don't know if there's a game of dings. Okay, we'll have to close this down while we play. Obviously, the next game has started because we kind of running. And that'll be research for later. So we've got a really tough player. And this is for 7 points. Now, 7 points will still be a very good score. We've got Gleb from Hungary. GM, basically around 3,000. Is he gonna give me the point? Is he not gonna want to play? Well, let's see. He's gone for knight f3, allowing the Dutch. And let's just try to finish with one good game here. It does look like I'm kind of floating on the clouds here with my white top and my very white face because the sun is shining through my curtains here. Had this position many times, which you might have seen. This is the main line, but this is one of the only lines I feel when you play the Dutch that you need to know a bit as black. And I covered this recently. I don't know if I better remember it all, but that's besides the point. And I remember when I looked at this line, I came to the conclusion that this is a very, very decent position for black. Why should it not be? I mean, I've got the centre, I've got full development, and I may even consider castling queenside. There's not really a need to do that because if I castle kingside, my rook automatically gets on the open file. So this looks very pleasant already. Now, I don't know if I need to take that. I don't think so, because by castling I can take with the rook. Just got to watch out and make sure my centre's defended. And now we obviously have some decisions to make. If I go here, his knight comes in. I like the idea of coming forwards in general. Let's do that. I don't think it's the end of the world. Yeah, his knight comes in, so what? And now I think we should think about this, yeah? Should we? Or should we go here? I'm also thinking of some weird stuff here, but I mean, do we do... Okay, let's maybe just try to go here. Don't know if that's right. Bishop f4, then I come to e6 maybe. I mean, again, it should still be fine, this position. And the advantage of this, if he ever goes f3, which feels like a move he might want to play, then I was thinking I could take there. And we will now come back. And another idea is just to get rid of this knight. This is the one annoying piece. So obviously we're going to get rid of it by taking it. And double pawns are not always bad. I don't mind even having the two knights and a lot of variations. Okay, but I'm also thinking why did I overcomplicate things as such? Because now he's got this one. Probably unneeded what I did. If I was going to do this, why didn't I just take that knight off immediately on c3? That would have been a lot more logical. Actually, these blinds, the sun's getting quite bright. It's been so hot in England recently. Crazily hot. Now, I'm just going to get the king out of the way and hope everything is holding. But I wanted to get an attack against his king with his pawn, but it's just not happening, is it? And if he takes here, well, at least I was thinking I'd get my rook active, even if it cost me a pawn, and that must be worth a pawn. Maybe this move next. I'm just trying to simplify. If he takes it, I might take with a pawn even. So he brings another piece to a good square. Let's just go b6. It stops any funny business on that square. He's lining up here, but it seems like this pawn is pretty well defended in most cases. Should this knight consider coming here? Well, not really, because this pawn is very weak. And now he's trying to come in this way. Interesting. So we just stop his idea. Always look at what your opponent's trying to do. He's cleared more room here. He's playing well. Got to be a little bit careful of b5 in some lines, where his bishop might be trapped, because if he takes it, a6. So he stops that. Now, do we now start doing stuff? So let's ask the bishop the question. I think I might take with a pawn. Controversial decision, but we can go for the g-file. Now, how weak is d6? Well, let's keep going. We're going to go forwards. Try the king side is where, when you have, I think it was Max Uwe, an ex-world champion from Holland, who was a great attacking player, and Jovanka Huska was telling me that he basically said, when you've got a pawn on this square with black, or as white, when you've got a pawn on e5, which you get in a lot of positions, you should just attack. Attack, attack, attack. And on the king side. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, bishop here. I might even step away. Or do we come forwards? Don't know if I want to allow this, do I? Don't think I'm that worried. Let's just step away, though. Keeps tension. Stops him being able to open his rook easily. And now I've got to take, and I've got to follow up with d5. And there goes my double pawn. He comes back to defend. I'd love to get a knight here, wouldn't I? Right, h3 seems to soften him up. So we got to weaken his king. Now, where does this go? Here or defend the pawn? I don't know. I don't know which is best. Or we should probably flick this in, right? Okay, let's give ourselves the c2 square. Right, that's also a very good move he's played there. Let's get out the pin. I want to come here, I think, and come into f4. Opponent defends, or do I just take? Come to e4. Let's go that. e4 is also a square, which is crying out to be jumped into. Queen h3. The pieces are getting messy. The position's getting murky. But this bishop is great. It defends against knight g3 ideas. It defends a lot. Didn't see this. Fuck. So check. Ah. That's a good move. Check. And he just takes it. And if here he's got queen h3 at the end. Wow. I missed that one. That is a fucker. I have to move the queen. And we've got to try to do a bit on time here, I think. Also, this is very scary. So yeah, I just missed that bishop coming in. That was a painful move. Did I have something? I must have missed something there. He doesn't even want this. He's lining up for this, which feels risky. But if I can't stop it, it's a beautiful way to play. Rook here, and try to. Okay, let's do that. Got to stop the queen coming around. I'm playing very quick here. Just trying to stop the mate. He's now threatening it again, so we've got to come here. Stop that queen getting up over. This queen's coming in here, but so what? Takes here. It takes here at the end. Can't see a way to do this. Should be a good move here. I want this weird idea. Okay, here. Let's play quick, Simon. Shit. This one, fuck. Oh no, he's gonna do it, isn't he? Oh, fell apart there. Oh, fuck. Alright. Well, shit. Fell apart at the end there. Let's just have a look at that one position. And, God, it is bright. Where it's probably bad. It is bad around here. And, funnily enough here, I should have just stuck to my guns. So, what did I say I was going to do after king here? I said I was going to go knight h5, and that's exactly what I should have played. And every other, and this would have really, I think, given me a very decent position. Because if he takes, I take here, check, and it's wild. But allowing his bishop in was bad. Right, do subscribe, do check out Chess Publishing. I'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching, and have a great week yourselves. Bye for now. Yeah, cheers guys.